But what I love about this is the texture you want.
It had been raining since the morning, and I could already tell it was going to be one of those days that either feels really cozy or kinda dull. I didn't want to let the weather decide the whole mood, so I built the day around a few small things that usually help.
Since last week, this plant started making these yellow leaves, and it's normal, you know, for a plant to have some of them, but it started spreading a little bit, so I'm afraid it's all gonna die at some point. I suspect that this is way too small for it now, so I decided to transfer some of it to this vase. You have a lot to say, Mina. So cute. Speaking of plants, I have these empty eggshells that I always keep apart and dry them outside and then turn them into powder and put them in the soil. They help my plants grow so much. So if you love plants like me, do not let your eggshells go to waste. Just dry them, turn them into powder and put them in the soil of the plants. They're gonna love it. For Mina's lunch, I'm gonna steam some spinach and make like an omelette with it. For Mina's omelette, I added just eggs and spinach, a little bit of cumin, some olive oil. Are you excited for lunch? Mina, And for my lunch, I am at the stage of the diet where I am allowed carbs in both lunch and dinner. So I can have a little bit of rice. I'm gonna have it with salmon, some lettuce, and this paprika. You know that my dream is to
become a professional painter, and I am learning from scratch at home. I want to be a self-taught artist, so now I am learning to draw, and in my drawing journey I am learning tone. It's quite intricate, and it's a very, very, very interesting chapter of my drawing journey. This is the final outcome. What do you think? I'm gonna put the original here and tell me if I'm at least close enough. Actually, drawing a photograph is so hard because the camera captures like the skin texture and stuff, and when you try to duplicate that with a pencil, it's quite hard. Actually, I'm not gonna blame my daughter for everything that I do slow in my life, because I have this instinct to say, because I have a kid, things are slower. Of course, because Mina is my #1 priority. There is no discussion and negotiating. She comes first. So my drawing journey is taking way longer than I expected, but it's okay. I feel like one of the biggest things that motherhood taught me is to take things slow and to just go in my own rhythm, not having to rush anything, not having to, oh my gosh, being so obsessed with time and with doing things quickly and achieving goals as fast as possible and comparing my journey to others' journey. Actually, I heard that the dryer is finished, so let me grab the laundry and let's continue this conversation.
So as I was saying, motherhood taught me how to go a little bit slower in life, because all these years I feel like I have been in constant pursuit of goals, pursuit of things, and I feel like I am going so slow in life, which is a complete illusion, because what is the criteria? What am I basing my assumptions or this assumption on? Basically nothing, when I really took the time to think deep about this subject. So I knew that I wasn't behind in life, that I wasn't slow in achieving my goals, but rather I had some mental blocks I needed to go over. Even for my YouTube channel, for example, I've been doing this for 3 years, I think, and I've been very irregular at the beginning. I would upload some videos and then stop for 2-3 months and then come back again, and I was always in search of what to film and maybe I should make things more interesting, and I was asking myself all these questions, and the more I tried to do better videos, the more I was stuck and actually ended up not uploading. Especially with YouTube is a long game. You need a lot of courage to be like, oh my gosh, I spent so much time on my video and it literally got 200 views. Like sometimes it gets you so discouraged, but because I love doing this and I've been working on myself a lot, I feel much better about it. I just focus on the fact that I love making videos. I enjoy doing the YouTube so much that it doesn't matter if numbers or the progress reflects that. So when it comes to overcoming mental blocks, the first thing I learned is that the mental blocks are not about laziness or not wanting something enough, but rather, at least for me, they had to do with fear. Fear of doing things badly, fear of being judged while I'm still figuring things out, and tying my worth and my value to the results. So the work I've been trying to do is to take very small steps. Like, for example, keep the promises I make to myself, no matter what. Focusing more on consistency rather than progress. And especially not using shame to push myself forward. I shouldn't try to succeed on YouTube because I had the shame of being a small channel. Shame should not at all be the motivation behind it. I learned that I don't need to have everything figured out to keep going. It's okay to still be in progress. It's okay to still be figuring things out. It's okay to still not know the path. There is no cozy day without baking, at least for me. Baking is one of my favorite things to do to feel cozy and to fill the house with amazing smells. But I am on a diet, so it is a little bit tricky to bake. But there are recipes that are absolutely allowed to have during the diet as long as I have carbless meals. So I remove the carbs from the actual meal and consume it in the dessert. And today I'm using almond flour, I'm using stevia, I'm using vanilla allulose. The recipe is very simple. First, I'm gonna start by adding 180 grams of almond flour. I'll add to that 200 grams of stevia, which you can replace with sugar. 50 grams of cocoa powder. I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and 12 grams of baking powder. It's not in the recipe, but I always love to add, when it comes to chocolate cakes, instant coffee. I don't know, to me it just makes the taste of chocolate 10 times more. So I add around, since it's a big cake, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons. Now I'm gonna mix the wet ingredients. Starting with 2 eggs, vanilla. I'm gonna add 120 milliliters of oil, and I'll add 240 milliliters of milk. Baking with sugar and without sugar is so different when it comes to texture, when it comes to everything. Like the chemistry between the ingredients creates a very different outcome, even in volume, even in taste. So you can't remove the sugar if you're a true baker. But because I'm on a diet, there is no discussion there. Now I'm gonna pour the wet ingredients into the dry ones. This is the texture you want. And I'm gonna add some 72% chocolate, no sugar, dark chocolate. Just a few of them to find there as a surprise. I'm gonna leave some of it to add on top. The cake is done. I'm just gonna have to pour it in a pan and put it in the oven, preheated 180 degrees for 45 minutes, right? I'm just gonna add the topping, and yeah, there it goes to the oven.
I think you brew it like really small. I love this bit. This is the like behind the scenes.